Why Auguste Comte still matters. When most people hear the name Auguste Comte, they imagine philosophy lectures, dry textbooks, or long-winded academic debates. Yet behind the heavy words and isms lies a man who genuinely wanted to improve life for ordinary people. Born in 1798 in Montpellier, France, Comte lived through a time of constant unrest. France was recovering from the Revolution, Napoleon's empire had risen and fallen, and society seemed trapped in a cycle of chaos and rebuilding. Out of this turmoil, Comte asked himself a question that still echoes today: how can humanity progress without destroying itself? His answer became a philosophy called Positivism, and a new discipline called Sociology, a science dedicated to understanding society itself. But more than ideas, Comte's writings hold powerful lessons about how we should live, think, and treat one another. These lessons are not just for scholars. They apply to students trying to find direction, workers balancing stability with ambition, parents raising children in uncertain times, and anyone seeking meaning in a rapidly changing world. Let's walk through 10 profound life lessons from Auguste Comte, expanded into stories and reflections that connect his 19th-century wisdom to our 21st-century struggles. 1. Knowledge should serve humanity. Comte's philosophy began with a simple but revolutionary idea: knowledge is not for decoration, it is for service. He lived in a period when philosophy was often abstract, full of speculation about the soul, the universe, or the divine. Comte respected these traditions but criticized their lack of usefulness. To him, what truly mattered was applying knowledge to improve human life. The only real knowledge is that which can be used. For Comte, the scientist studying stars, the philosopher writing essays, or the historian recording the past all had a duty to connect their work back to humanity. Otherwise, knowledge risked becoming an intellectual luxury, detached from life. Modern story. Think about our world today. We live in an era of information overload. We can Google anything in seconds. Millions of YouTube tutorials exist for every skill imaginable. Yet, despite having more knowledge at our fingertips than ever before, people still feel lost, anxious, and disconnected. Why? Because collecting knowledge isn't the same as applying it. It's like buying dozens of recipe books but never cooking a meal. The books might look impressive on your shelf, but they don't feed anyone. Comte would remind us, don't just learn for yourself, learn to serve others. Takeaway. Ask yourself, every time you learn something new, how can I use this to help? Share your skills. Teach others. Solve problems. Remember, unused knowledge is wasted energy. Applied knowledge transforms lives. 2. Progress comes through order. One of Comte's most famous mottos was, order and progress. To him, progress was vital. Societies must grow, learn, and change. But he also saw how uncontrolled revolutions often ended in disaster. He had grown up in post-revolutionary France, where dreams of freedom often turned into chaos. Comte realized that progress without order is chaos, and order without progress is stagnation. Imagine a garden. If you never let plants grow, the garden becomes sterile. But if you let everything grow wildly without care, weeds take over. The beauty lies in balance, nurturing growth within a structure. Modern story. In today's world, people chase progress constantly. We want faster careers, faster technology, faster results. But without stability, healthy routines, strong values, inner discipline, this rush leads to burnout and collapse. On the other hand, some people cling so tightly to stability that they resist any change at all. They prefer comfort zones, even if it means stagnation. Kant's wisdom shows us the middle path. Structure supports growth, and growth gives meaning to structure. Takeaway. In your personal life, build daily routines, order, but also challenge yourself with new goals, progress. In society, respect institutions and laws, order, but push for reforms that bring fairness and growth, progress. Balance is not about compromise, it is about harmony. 3. Humanity is the true religion. Later in life, Kant proposed something unusual, the religion of humanity. He wasn't talking about churches, gods, or rituals. Instead, he suggested humanity itself should be the object of reverence. We should treat caring for others, serving society, and improving human life as sacred duties. For Kant, true spirituality meant living for others. He believed that love and altruism should be humanity's guiding principles. Live for others. Auguste Comte. Modern story. Today, many people feel disconnected from traditional religion. Some turn to spirituality, others to science, and some to nothing at all. Yet we all share one undeniable reality: we belong to humanity. Whether you believe in God, energy, or pure reason, we still face the same human struggles: hunger, poverty, inequality, loneliness. What unites us is not belief, but humanity itself. Kant would say, make humanity your temple. Your service to people is your worship. Takeaway. Whatever your faith, let compassion be your highest ritual. Don't live only for yourself, see every act of kindness as sacred. Humanity itself is worthy of devotion. 4. Respect the stages of growth. One of Kant's most influential ideas was the law of 3 stages. He argued that societies, and even individuals, pass through 3 intellectual phases. Theological stage, explaining the world through gods and spirits. Metaphysical stage, using abstract principles, philosophy, and reason. Positive stage, relying on science, facts, and evidence. Kant didn't mock the earlier stages. He saw them as necessary steps in humanity's growth. Just as a child must crawl before walking, societies must move through belief and speculation before reaching scientific understanding. Modern story. Think about your own life. As a child, you might have believed in magic, Santa Claus, or fairy tales. Later, as a teenager, you became more skeptical, questioning everything. As an adult, you learned to ground yourself in facts and evidence, while still appreciating imagination. Every stage shaped who you are. Without the wonder of childhood, your imagination would be weaker. Without the questions of youth, your critical thinking would be dull. Without the realism of adulthood, you'd be lost in fantasy. Kant's lesson is this: growth is not about rejecting the past but building upon it. Takeaway. Don't mock your earlier self. Those stages were necessary. Respect others who may still be at different stages of understanding. Life is a process. Growth takes time, don't rush it. 5. Science without morality is dangerous. Auguste Comte loved science. He believed it was humanity's best tool for progress. But he also feared something: science without ethics could become destructive. He lived in the early 19th century, a time when science was unlocking new powers: medicine, industry, technology. These discoveries promised progress, but they also brought exploitation. Factories improved productivity but exploited workers. Industrialization boosted wealth but deepened inequality. Kant saw clearly: knowledge without morality is like a knife, it can heal or it can kill. Modern story. Fast forward to our time. We live in an era of astonishing scientific advances. Artificial intelligence can mimic human creativity. Genetic engineering can rewrite DNA. Technology can connect us instantly across the globe. But we also face risks, privacy violations, job displacement, unethical experiments, weapons of mass destruction. The same tools that can save lives can also destroy them. Comte's warning rings louder than ever: science must walk hand in hand with compassion. Practical takeaway. Don't just ask, "Can we do this?" Always ask, "Should we?" Use knowledge not just to profit but to protect and uplift. Intelligence without kindness creates monsters. Wisdom joins them together. 6. Individual lives gain meaning through collective good. Comte believed society was more than just individuals. He described it as a living organism, where each person plays a role like an organ in a body. Your heart, lungs, and brain have meaning only within the whole body. Separately, they cannot survive. Similarly, individuals gain deeper meaning when they see themselves as part of a larger whole: family, community, humanity. Modern story. In our world, the message often pushed is, look out for yourself. Build your brand. Be independent. While independence is important, it can also leave people feeling empty. A man may build wealth but still feel lonely if he cuts himself off from community. A woman may chase personal success but find herself yearning for deeper connection. Comte reminds us, we find true meaning when we give ourselves to something bigger than us. Think of a teacher shaping young minds, a doctor saving lives, or even a parent raising children. Their meaning is magnified because their actions ripple into the wider world. Practical takeaway. Ask, who benefits from my work, my choices, my actions? Don't measure life only in personal wins, measure it in the lives you touch. Your value multiplies when it serves the collective. 7. Gratitude to the past, responsibility to the future. Comte often emphasized a deep truth: we are not self-made. Every tool we use, every piece of knowledge we learn, every road we walk, these were created by those who came before us. We owe them gratitude. At the same time, we are custodians of the future. What we do today shapes the lives of generations yet unborn. He summarized this idea beautifully: we must live for the dead, the living, and the unborn. Modern story. Imagine holding a torch in a relay race. You didn't light the torch, you received it from those who ran before you. But you must carry it carefully, not just for yourself, but for those waiting to receive it after you. This is life. Your grandparents and ancestors passed down knowledge, traditions, and sacrifices. You benefit from their struggles. And now, it's your turn to run your stretch and pass the torch forward. Practical takeaway. Be grateful daily, for history, for ancestors, for the invisible sacrifices behind your life. Ask yourself, what legacy am I leaving behind? Live not just for today but as a bridge between yesterday and tomorrow. 8. Progress requires selflessness. Comte believed selfishness was humanity's greatest obstacle. He called for altruism, living for others. Selfishness, he argued, creates division, inequality, and decay. But when people act with selflessness, societies thrive. Modern story. Think of times of crisis, earthquakes, floods, or pandemics. What carries people through is not competition but cooperation. Strangers helping strangers, communities coming together, people putting others' needs before their own. History remembers not the selfish hoarders, but the helpers who gave when it mattered most. In daily life, too, selflessness transforms relationships. Friendships deepen when people think of each other's needs. Families grow stronger when sacrifice is shared. Workplaces become healthier when colleagues support one another. Comte's message is timeless: progress is built on we, not me. Practical takeaway: look for opportunities to give more than you take. Measure success not just in money or status, but in lives improved. Every act of generosity, however small, contributes to humanity's progress. 9. Discipline the mind, expand the heart. Comte believed the mind and heart must grow together. Pure knowledge without compassion is cold and destructive. Pure compassion without wisdom is blind and ineffective. Greatness lies in balancing intellectual discipline with emotional depth. Modern story. Think of leaders who inspire the world. They are not just intelligent, they are empathetic. They don't just make calculations, they feel responsibility for people. A brilliant scientist who discovers a cure but doesn't care for patients fails. A kind person with no knowledge may want to help but cannot. The magic lies in uniting the two. For Comte, education should cultivate both, the sharpness of the mind and the softness of the heart. Practical takeaway: develop your intellect, but don't neglect your compassion. Learn facts, but also learn empathy, patience, and kindness. Strive to be not just smart, but wise. 10. Hope is the engine of civilization. Despite living through wars, revolutions, and political instability, Comte never lost his belief in progress and hope. He insisted that humanity must always believe in a better future. Without hope, societies collapse into despair. With hope, even in the darkest times, people rise again. Modern story. Think of moments in history when hope carried people forward: civil rights movements, independence struggles, rebuilding after wars. Hope didn't erase pain, but it gave people the strength to endure and fight for change. In our personal lives, too, hope is essential. A student studies because they hope for a better career. A patient endures treatment because they hope for recovery. Parents sacrifice because they hope for their children's future. Comte teaches us that hope is not naive, it is a survival tool. Practical takeaway: no matter how dark life feels, hold on to hope, it keeps you moving. Believe in progress, even when it's slow. Remember, civilizations and individuals are built on the foundation of hope. Conclusion: living Comte's philosophy today. Auguste Comte is remembered as the father of sociology and the founder of positivism, but his true gift is moral wisdom. His lessons remind us: knowledge must serve humanity. Progress requires order. Compassion is sacred. Growth comes in stages. Science needs ethics. Meaning is found in community. Gratitude ties us to the past, responsibility ties us to the future. Selflessness fuels progress. Wisdom blends intellect with compassion. Hope keeps civilization alive. These lessons are not abstract, they are daily practices. They ask us to live not just for ourselves but for humanity, to carry forward the torch of progress with love and responsibility. In a world often divided and distracted, Comte's voice still whispers, "Live for others." That simple phrase, if lived sincerely, could transform not just our lives, but the destiny of humanity itself.